Coming to you today with another podcast episode of Never Lose a Deal. And so, if you are watching this, I am also streaming online. So, you may be watching the video version of this on YouTube as well as another of other platforms. So, I am using Restream. So, I'm streaming from a few places. So, today's topic, do you need business funding to invest in real estate? And so I always like, before I go into the topic, I always like to talk about what this podcast is about and who is it for. And it's really for seasoned real estate investors who are looking for creative strategies to be able to do more deals. And that's why I decided today to go into this topic because there's a lot of things trending in the marketplace. And it depends on, what microcosm of the internet you are part of. You may see it or you may not see it. Well, rest assured, like I said, I had started to see a lot of things trending in the marketplace. And, all I could do is shake my head. But by all means, that's not what this podcast episode is about. It's really about the miseducation that is in the marketplace. And I always say, during the course of, um, any day, I always have the chance to talk to individuals who are seeking some type of financing or funding to be able to expand their real estate business or add to. And then sometimes I also come across those people who are new to real estate. And so yesterday I had a conversation with a person and they shared with me how they need business funding to get started with real estate. And that is not the first time I've heard that conversation. And so today I want to kind of unpack that statement that many people say and what is in the marketplace and why it's miseducation. And really, if you continue to stay plugged into that conversation of needing business credit to get started in real estate, you're going to be just spinning your wheels. So let me give you some background for myself. I'm not new to the space of credit, not new to the space of funding or real estate. Um, Although I'm new to podcasting, I have been doing videos on YouTube for 10 years. And I started talking about business funding and business credit in 2017, 2018. So I didn't just wake up during the pandemic and say, oh man, this is a quick money grab. Let me start talking about funding. The receipts are there. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, you can go there. And I have always been talking about the benefits of leveraging credit and why it can be a add-on to your business, hence real estate business, because that is what I do. I'm a funding advisor, and my specialty is I work with real estate investors to expand their funding options, but not their only option, which is business funding. And so when I was talking to the person, I can tell that there was a lot of confusion. This person had been, you could tell they were just regurgitating a lot of the information that is on the internet, on many live streams, where people are telling you you put $30 or $50 in a bank or a credit union and you're going to get a credit line of 10K. And a lot of that information is misinformation. Not saying that it couldn't happen or it can happen, but many of the individuals who are seeking those types of as they say, plays or strategies are really not in a position to be able to do it. And so the only thing that you can rest on is really fraud, because that's the only way that that would happen. And I always challenge people, when people, you know, want to believe that those things will help them. And I always tell, well, go to the source. Go to the person who told you that you can put $50 in a bank account and get a 10K credit line. I've said to people numerous times, I don't understand why you all don't go to the people who tell you these so-called plays. But I know why you can't, because they're not accessible to you. They're going to just do a bunch of live streams. They're going to do a lot of webinars, and the price to be able to consult with them one-on-one so you can really get some understanding of the plays and the strategies they're telling you, you can't afford. So hence it leaves the person chasing their tail. So now they're in a place, in a state of, I need business funding to get started in real estate. And understand, everything that I'm going to say today is going to go against anything that you may have heard when it comes to you need business credit or you need business funding to invest in real estate, because I'm here to tell you, you do not. And one may say, well, really, you've always been talking about it. I have. But I've also, if you have never worked with me one on one, or if you've never worked with me as a client, rest assured that has never been my strategy. My strategy has never been, you need business funding or business credit to invest in real estate. I have always spoke about it as it being a alternative source that you can leverage. Do you hear me? As a alternative source that you can leverage. Let me give you an example. If you are a fix and flipper and you know that you are looking to get some type of real estate loan to assist you with the flip, there are times when you want to be able to use another source of funds just in case you come up short as you're doing the rehab. You can tap into those funds. They are there. Or if you are a multi-family real estate investor and you may have some repairs that need to be done, or there's some upgrades you may want to do, the funding is there. It's there for you to tap into. It allows you to leverage. That has always been my stand when it comes to this topic. In terms of you getting credit and then buying real estate, that has never been what I have shared with people, because I am clear with people. There are some people who just want a credit card. They just want a credit card. They want American Express, Platinum, or Chase Sapphire, whatever choice card you want, and access to, lounges in the airport. By all means, if that is your vision for your life and what it is that you want, by all means, go get it. But do not try to bring in order for me to get real estate or invest in real estate, I need that. Because once again, like I told you all today, I'm going to dispel that. You do not need business credit or business funding to invest in real estate. What you need is clarity. That and it starts with that. You need to know, what do you want to invest in, because that is why I titled the show Never Lose a Deal. The reason why it's the Never Lose a Deal podcast, it's because if you are working on a deal and you come up short, funding and business credit can be an alternative to allow you to maybe get into the deal if the numbers work, if you have underwritten yourself the deal. Yes, you did the underwriting. So when I have people who come to me and they say, I can't invest in real estate because I don't have no funding, I can tell, one, you're not doing no deals. You do not know a real estate deal if one was right in your face. And you definitely don't know how to underwrite the deal. What is underwrite the deal? You have not looked at any pricings of deals. You don't know the values of the area. You don't know the price point that you want to buy at. You don't know if the property is cash flowing. You don't know none of those things. But the only thing you know is that you need funding. And there are people out there in the marketplace who are selling you on that, when really they're just selling you a credit, a credit strategy that it may land you behind the bars. And then they're telling you with that you can get real estate. And by all means, could it happen? Yeah, depending on what market you're in. I mean, I did a case study a few episodes ago, and I broke down um what I'm looking to do in terms of the assets that I'm negotiating with the bank, and what type of finance and funding I'm going to use with that. And funding may be a piece of it, but understand every deal is different. It doesn't start with get the funding and then find the deal. But see, that only appeals to really individuals who are getting started. That's the only time that you can tell someone something that crazy. Let's look to get a whole bunch of funding. And with that funding, you're going to invest in real estate. So you have people spinning their wheels, creating net 30s, pretty much uh, providing fraud, on credit card applications with the hopes of getting 50K or 25K or what have you, or get multiple credit cards when that's not needed. Because there are some people that I've talked to, and they just really just need to get a just FHA loan. Like just get a real estate FHA loan, because I ask people all the time, what is it that you really want? Like, do you want real estate, or do you just want, some credit? Because if you just want some credit, you don't need to talk to me. You can just go right online and get credit. You don't need that from me. But they've been sold that in order to get credit and funding, they need a lot of it. They need a lot of it to get started in real estate, when really they have no clarity on what it is they want. Because for the person who just really just wants to invest in real estate, they're new to real estate, they want to, buy their first home or maybe their first investment property, by all means, FHA may be for you. A 203K loan may be for you, because it allows you to put a small deposit down, and now you get to take part in ownership, home ownership, that of course appreciates with time, allows you to, build some equity into your personal finances. And then from there, you may decide, okay, I want to be an investor now. And then you start looking at what you want to invest in. Do you want to be a fix and flipper? Do you want to, invest in multifamilies? What is it that you want to do? That's where it starts. It doesn't start with getting funding, because I tell people all the time, depending on where you are in your business, and that is between, if you're trying to get funding between 0 to 100K, your first 100K of 0 to 100K is really your belief. It has nothing to do with strategy. It has to do with your belief. That's right. It's that simple. Do you even believe that it is possible? And I'm talking about based on principles, because everything that I teach is based on principles. It ain't running a play. It's not robbing the banks. It's nothing that's going to incriminate me in the court of law. It's based on principles, because I always say principles are evergreen. They're evergreen. And as you continue to move up the principle continuum, funding, access to finances, and credit will be your oyster that you can pair along with your real estate expertise if you have been working on that. Because now at this point, you've taken part in home ownership. Maybe you've bought that first home. You've went FHA or 203K loan. See, many people are selling you on the pizzazz of being an investor, when a lot of people don't have the foundation. That's why I said this podcast is for the seasoned investor, because a lot of the topics that I'm going to talk about, although this topic may not be an advanced topic, but a lot of the topics are not going to be for a beginner. That's why I have never told a person, hey, you can get six figures in funding and you don't have nothing. Like, where are you going to do that outside of fraud? Like, how are you going to have a weak credit profile, meaning on your personal side, and you have no business that is producing any type of income, doesn't have no type of revenue, you don't, you don't have books and records, but some way you believe that you are entitled to all this funding. And then most people will tell you, well, you know what, you're not going to go to the banks to get the funding. You're not going to do loans and all this other stuff. You're going to get credit cards. And a lot of times, the reason that's the strategy they teach, hey, don't get me wrong, credit cards, there are benefits. When you understand the velocity of money and the speed at which you can use that money, once again, to be an alternative source to your real estate investment, it's a win win. But when you have to falsify records, put untrue information on a credit card application, with the hopes that you're going to run up the bag. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you're going to get yourself in a jam. I said I was going to do a whole separate video on what the business credit and the business funding space looks like in 2023, but it is very similar to the mortgage fraud that occurred during 2004 up to 2008 is very similar. And I get that whole conversation, oh, Lorelia, but the big bails failed, also, and it was only the Main Street, the little guy that was the one that went down. And I'm saying the same thing with that. If you know that you were in a place of defrauding banks, you put falsified information now. Understand we're in a different day and time now. We got artificial intelligence. You have your digital footprint. Everything is being documented. Don't let no YouTuber, don't let no podcaster, don't let no influencer, don't let no guru have you to believe that they are so smart and they are smarter than institutions who have billions and trillions of dollars that are investing those dollars into the best technology when it comes to artificial intelligence. And for some way, you're going to be, or they're going to be that smart to teach you how to rob the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, you do not need business funding to invest in real estate. What you need is clarity. You need to be clear on what it is that you want to do. Because like I said, people want to think that you do the same thing with as them. And if anybody has ever worked with me, I always come from a place of funding being an alternative source to do real estate. It is not the source. That is why I'm a funding advisor. I advise investors, real estate investors, on different type of funding sources that are out there in the marketplace. I talk about the business funding capital stack, with my clients, with unsecured being the lowest level, and then secured, and then asset based, and then private equity, and how you can go and move up the funding continuum. It's not get a platinum American Express card and buy real estate. It's not, what's the secret lenders list. That's not it. It's not, oh, what credit, bureaus do I need to know what the credit score needs to be in order for me to get this trade line. Those right there are tactics, and they're not principle based. It's something that you may can do right now. You may have did it since 2020, but you're not going to be able to do it 5 years from now. Mark my word. And where is it going to leave you? Now they're saying the biggest wealth transfer is being taken place. Were you able to be part of that transfer? Or were you that person who's taking part in things that are not going to move you further in the direction of whatever it is that you want, whether it be wealth, whether it be generational wealth, whether it be legacy, whether it be to expand your portfolio, if none of those tactics are doing that, you've wasted your time. You have wasted your time. So, once again, I'm always going to say don't need business funding to invest in real estate. What you need is a plan. Business funding, the way I share with my clients, is an alternative source to what it is that you want to do. It's an alternative source. It's not the source. It's not the source. It's the alternative source. Two different things. Most people are either they're real estate investors, true real estate investors. They're doing fix and flips, what have you, buying homes, multifamilies, Airbnbs. That is what they do every day, all day. And they happen to have some credit cards. But what they're not is they're not a funding advisor. They do not know the different ways that you can get financing for your business to be able to expand and to be able to grow. That's why I tell people I'm not no real estate investor. I don't do no fix and flips. Things that I buy are for my own portfolio. There are some things in the portfolio that I buy for my clients that I may sell to them to expand to their portfolio. That's why I did the case study on mortgage notes, what I'm doing, in terms of investing in distress mortgage notes, and how I'm adding that on as part of my portfolio. And of that, I'm sharing those things with my clients. But being able to get you finance and funding don't mean that I have to do a fix and flip. And that's why I said people who are telling you that, they know that you are a beginner. Because if they're doing fix and flips and they're working with a lender, they're not asking the lender, how many fix and flips did you do, Mr. Lender or Miss Lender? How many commercial properties did you buy, Mr. Lender, Miss Lender? They're not doing that. They're looking for a lender who's going to finance their deals. And that's what I'm telling you why you don't need business funding, because the individuals who are telling you this know that that's not what they did. They knew that they went and established relationships with lenders to get their deals funded. They know that, but they're telling you something different. Now, along with them getting financing for their deals, being able to build their real estate portfolio, they may have got some business credit cards. But that was an add-on. That wasn't the on. They went just like everybody else and went to build a relationship with a lender who can finance their deals. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you for today's podcast online show. Never lose a deal podcast. Once again, if you are watching this on any of the social media platforms, primarily my place is YouTube, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. We're still working on being put on the podcasting platforms as well, but I will make an announcement when that has happened. So anyway, leave me your thoughts. Let me know what you're doing, how it's worked for you. What has it been like with you trying to obtain business funding and invest in real estate? And also be honest with me and let me know, are you in a place of a ball of confusion? So once again, this is Lorelia signing off.